Well, we had a pretty decent amount of good games, I would feel like, for this week. Broncos did get the dub. Was expecting that. I really didn't feel like we could have a reason to lose to the Packers, but we'll get into that later. We got the Eagles with their Kelly Green throwbacks, looking clean. I do believe they should wear this way more often. These look so clean. A lot of big upsets, though. A lot of big upsets this week. A lot of bad officiating. This is probably one of the worst weeks of officiating I've seen, I would say, in the last at least the last 3 years. There's been a lot of really bad officiating this week. And we're going to get into all of that, but it seemed like every game this week had like a really bad call. And some of them were game altering, so yeah. Either way, let's get into them. Let's see what we're going with here today. So Thursday night, I did get this game correct. I did pick the Jaguars. This game, like I said in my last video, I told you that this game was an underrated game. Don't sleep on it. This was going to be an entertaining game. And what did this game come down to? It came down to the very end. This game was very, very good. A lot of back and forth, a lot of good defensive play. It's always fun watching a game, where it has to come down to the wire, especially when it's prime time, when it's the only game on. You want a close game. You don't want to have a blowout. But this was a really good game. I liked how the Jaguars were winning pretty easily. Saints kind of came back, and then the Jaguars just had to make a play, and they just did. Trevor Lawrence, shout out to Trevor Lawrence. He was pretty questionable coming into this game. He didn't practice all week. Comes in and plays pretty good. I think he ran for like almost 70 yards, 204, got a touchdown. He did pretty good. Derek Carr had a pretty bad game. It looked like he kind of tore something or like aggravated something in his quad or in his, in his hamstring or something in his groin. It looked like he, had something tweaked. But, yeah, you can see Michael Thomas over here doing nothing once again, 42 yards and a touchdown. And of course, you take away that touchdown and he doesn't do anything. But Michael Thomas, a lot of money for someone who runs 4 routes. Alvin Kamara, I don't know why he's trash now. 2 years ago, he was probably the second best running back in the league, and I don't know. He fell off or something. I don't know. Either way, as you can see here by the stats, the Jaguars, the Saints had chances. They really did. I feel like they were just really not executing. This game could have easily been won by the Saints, but luckily the Jaguars were able to kind of pull it off there. As you can see here, the third down efficiency by both teams was just awful. 2 for 11, 3 for 18. I mean, this was a defensive game. Very, very defensive. But shout out to Trevor Lawrence. He kind of came in, sealed that dub for them, so that's pretty cool. Next, we're going to go on to the 12 o'clock games. There is no London games for this week or Germany games. But as you can see here, Deshaun Watson was a healthy scratch. I was not expecting Deshaun Watson to not play this game. So I was low-key kind of scared with my pick. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Browns to win this game. This game was just bad officiating all the way around. The Colts low-key got screwed on 2 calls. This was just a really bad officiated game. And to be honest, I don't even want to really talk about this game just because I feel like this wasn't a legit ending. The Colts high-key should have won this game. But these are 2 teams that are like not really interesting at the moment. I mean, Deshaun Watson's not really playing. You got Kareem Hunt. He's in for Nick Chubb now. Anthony Richardson's hurt. You got Gardner Minshew in here. I mean, both of these teams are just not really anything to talk about. You don't really want to talk about these teams. But yeah, a lot of points though. I mean, what is this? 77 points. That's a lot of points for two mediocre offenses, I feel like. But yeah, as you can see here by the stats, the Colts, I mean, they should have won. I mean, like I said, I don't really want to talk about this game. This game had tons of bad officiating. Get you some more juice. But yeah, a lot of turnovers. Just it's sloppy, a very sloppy game. But the Browns got it done. Got a pretty solid record right now in the AFC. Let's see how long that can last, though. Next we have the Bills and the Patriots. I got this game wrong. Pretty much, I'm most likely everyone got this game wrong. Who's gonna pick the Patriots here? I mean, no one's gonna pick the Patriots. And what do? They come out, and I feel like Josh Allen can't beat the Patriots. Like, he just can't do it. Whatever it is, Belichick and the Bills, I mean, he just beats them every time. Like how Belichick always loses to the Dolphins, he always beats the Bills. It's just insane. Mac Jones had a great game. 75, no, that's like what? I don't even know what completion percentage that would be. 25 out of 30? That's at least like, I don't know. That's up there. 6 divided by 100. About 18. I'd say about 82% completion percentage. Pretty good. 272 yards. Perfect passer rating. Josh Allen. 2 touchdowns, a pick. 90 passer rating. I mean, he didn't play bad. You don't want to turn the ball over, though. Yeah, I mean, this was just a steal. Great defense by the Bills. They were playing solid defense all the way around, locking down Stephon Diggs. I mean, 58 yards for Stephon Diggs. That's a good game. He had a wide open touchdown, so I'm not really going to count that. You take away that wide open touchdown, he has 5 catches for like 40 yards. That's a good stat line. What you want to have against Stephon Diggs. As you can see here, I mean, the Patriots high-key stole this game. They just did. Great defensive play. It's a huge, huge upset, in my opinion, for the Patriots here. Next, we have the Raiders and the Bears. If I was a Raiders fan, I'd be very ashamed to have lost this game. I mean, there's no reason why this undrafted Division II quarterback is out here just demolishing the Raiders. Josh Jacobs, I don't know what is up with Josh Jacobs. I don't know what's up with Saquon. I don't know what's up with Alvin Kamara. These running backs are trash now. I don't know why. 35 yards on 11 carries. It's really bad. Just a bad game for the Raiders in general. But, I mean, this was just a sloppy game. A very sloppy game. The Bears have no reason blowing out the Raiders like that. But, hey. As you can see here, Chicago just really dominated on all cylinders except for the penalties. But big upset for the Bears. I did get this game wrong as well. I did pick the Raiders, just knowing Justin Fields wasn't going to play, and then yeah, there's that. Next game I did get wrong as well. We got the Commanders and the Giants. I did pick the Commanders to win this. I thought the defense was going to do a little bit better against Tyrod Taylor. That wasn't the case. Tyrod Taylor had 279, 2 touchdowns. And I believe he ran for a good amount as well, like maybe 20 or 30. Sam Howell, he didn't do good. Brian Robinson, he didn't do good. Saquon, 21 carries for 77 yards. I mean, he's not doing nothing. And a fumble. Terry McLaurin still, when Terry McLaurin gets a quarterback, man, when Terry McLaurin gets a quarterback, it's going to be if y'all call him Scary Terry now, sheesh. Darren Waller had a pretty decent game, surprisingly. But, yeah. As you can see here, Washington 1 for 15 on third downs. How do you get 1 third down? I mean, they punted 10 times. Not that the, Giants, they punted 8 times. But 10 times against a division rival? Come on. I mean, just a pathetic loss for the Commanders. 3-4. I mean, Ron Rivera, I was kind of like wondering, I was like, why is he on the hot seat? After a loss like that, 7 points against the Giants defense. No wonder he's on the hot seat. Next we have the Falcons and the Bucks. I did get this game right. I did pick the Falcons. I thought that the Falcons could just pull it off. And they did. As you can see here, Desmond Ridder, 250, no touchdowns. All he does is not throw picks. He throws picks, but, he's not going to throw touchdowns. He's so overly safe, tries to be overly safe with the ball, that he's just like he's a game manager. It's like you don't need a game manager for the Falcons right now. You just don't. Bijan Robinson started or was active this game but didn't get any playing times, and he was apparently sick, and that was a big controversy. Young-Ho Koo, was the reason why this game was even won for the Falcons, first of all. Baker Mayfield, he had an okay game. I feel like a lot of his, he just wasn't making great reads most of the time. But at the same time, his receivers weren't really getting open. Plus, the run game was just complete garbage. But Mike Evans was doing really good. He's always kind of that. He's like Keenan Allen. He's always going to just be just slightly above average his whole career. But as you can see here, pretty evenly matched. Like I said, this came down to Young-Ho Koo. It was won on the last second, field goal, but if they didn't have him, definitely the Falcons would have lost this game for real. But pretty boring game, no one's really gonna watch this. It's just the Falcons have a really bad head coach as well. Next, I feel like this is the biggest. Well, I don't know. The Patriots and the Bills is a pretty big upset, but this one right here, this is up there as well. The Lions and the Ravens. Lions got blown out by the Ravens. Jared Goff didn't have a great game. Lamar Jackson had an amazing game. 3 touchdowns, 357, a perfect passer rating, great completion percentage. Jamar Gibbs finally got his first touchdown. Gus Edwards had an okay game. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he had a really good game. And, the Ravens were just clicking on defense, offense, special teams. They just had a really great game and just completely destroyed the Lions. And, the offense was just clicking big time. And I don't know. This was a great win. A great win for the Ravens. I'm glad Lamar's finally, stepping up. He was not doing anything in the beginning of the season. Remember I was saying, where's the Lamar highlights? You don't see no Lamar highlights. Where's his runs? He don't need to run. He's over here throwing passing touchdowns against a pretty decent defense. Next, we have the Seahawks and the Cardinals. This was a pretty... I did get obviously the Lions and Ravens wrong. I did get this game correct, though. I did pick the Seahawks. I just felt like Joshua Dobbs was not going to be able to get it done against the Seahawks defense. Geno Smith, he didn't do that great. Didn't lose the game. Kenneth Walker had a great game. He's starting to, you're starting to see more of him every week. But this was a pretty boring game. I'm pretty sure no one watched this game. Both of these teams are very irrelevant right now. But yeah, I just didn't. I couldn't see the Seahawks losing to the Cardinals. I just couldn't see it. But hey. Next, we have a game that I got wrong. The Steelers and the Rams. I did get this game wrong. I did pick the Rams to win. You know, I just felt like they could do more. You know, of course, you know, I feel like this is another game, you know, that was very badly officiated. But yeah, this Puka Nasua guy, I'm starting to see him every week, just popping up on my feed, getting 100-yard games. So keep an eye out for this guy. You know, he's kind of up and coming, maybe. Najee Harris, you know, probably his best game of the season, and the fact that he only had 53 yards shows you how not great of a season he's kind of having. But yeah, this game was kind of a letdown. You know, I feel like the Rams could have easily won this game, but you know, they had more possession time, less penalties, less punts. You know, I just feel like this was a steal for the Steelers. Next, we have the Chargers and the Chiefs. This game was pretty, you know, I feel like the Chargers just couldn't really do nothing on this. Justin Herbert, you know, he had 1 touchdown, 2 picks, horrible passer rating, 259 yards, and people are still going to say that he's better than Russell Wilson right now. If you can literally tell me that Russell Wilson is not as good as Justin Herbert, I don't know, man. They're doing the same. You know what I mean? To call him better than Russell Wilson, it's hard to do when they're putting up the same stats, winning just the same amount. You know what I mean? Isaiah Pacheco had a horrible game. You know, Travis Kelce, you know, jogging his routes, of course. Joshua Kelly had a pretty bad game. I mean, pretty okay game. Austin Eckler has not been an efficient running back for the Chargers this year. He just hasn't. This game was a very easy win for the Chiefs. Mahomes had a really good game, but I don't know. It's hard to credit anyone on the Chiefs other than, you know, Andy Reid. He's the only reason why the Chiefs are relevant. Next, we have the Broncos and the Packers last 3 o'clock game. This game, I had faith going into this game. I really did. I really did have faith going into this game. I'm like, there's no way that the Packers can beat us. Like, the Packers aren't playing as good as people think they are. And, you know, we beat them. And I wasn't surprised. So we were up at the end of half, 9-0. Nothing but field goals. We couldn't get down the field. We were getting in the red zone, close to the red zone, just nothing but field goals. We were getting no pressure in the pass rush. The run game was beating us up pretty bad, but A.J. Dillon, he's a big body, you know, running back, and you know, Aaron Jones is also really good. But yeah, you know, coming into the third quarter, you know, we're winning 16-0. They score a touchdown. Or they score a field goal, you know, 16-3. Then they score another touchdown. Then it's 10-16. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. You know, then they score. You know, they go up. You know, 17-16, and then we go down the field, score a field goal, 19-17. Luckily, Jordan Love is trash. You know, he has like, I don't know, a minute 51 to, you know, get maybe 60 yards to score a touchdown. You know, he just about 60 yards, and you know, to get a field goal, you know, he probably needed to get at least 30. And you know, they run a play, you know, nothing. Then they get a penalty, 2nd and 20. Then they throw an incompletion, 3rd and 20. And then, you know, what does he do? He throws a pick, a game-losing pick. I mean, just a very bad game for Jordan Love, decision-making wise. I mean, they had 2 lucky touchdowns. You know, you take 2 touchdowns off of the Packers, that's what the game should be. 19-3. 2 of their touchdowns shouldn't have happened. They got a lucky call. We got robbed of an interception. Patrick Surtain should have had an interception. Instead, they give the 50-50 ball to the receiver for whatever reason, even if he wasn't down first. So Surtain definitely got robbed of an interception there. And the lucky tipped pass touchdown, that's 2 touchdowns that should not have happened. It should have been 6-19. They would have been in field goal range. I forgot. It should have been 6-19. If you want to even push it, it should have been 9-19. But they should not have had any touchdowns. Either way, Javonte Williams had a great game. Big shout out to the Broncos for kind of exposing the Packers there. Next we have, I did get the game correct, obviously. I did get this game wrong. I did pick the Dolphins to win this game. This was another kind of badly officiated game. A lot of missed calls. A lot of them wouldn't have been game-altering, though. But still some missed calls that they didn't call on the Eagles. Tua had a pretty decent game. Jalen Hurts had a pretty decent game. Raheem Mostert, he had an okay game. DeAndre Swift had an okay game. Tyreek had a really good game, even though, 11 for 88 and a touchdown. That's kind of low stats. A.J. Brown is, I think, turning into like a top 5 receiver. He is a big body. He's fast. He's, reliable. He's making catches. A.J. Brown he's kind of like that. The defense for the Eagles was going crazy. As you can see here, 13 more minutes of possession, less punts. This was just a really tough game, a very tough win for the Eagles, and it's a big win for the Eagles. I honestly did have the Dolphins just kind of running up the score, and if you want to disregard some of those bad penalties that weren't called, you take 3 points, you take a touchdown off of the Eagles, they're still winning 24-17. So, hey, you could take 10 points off and they still beating you by 4. So, yeah, I just don't see how the referees. They missed a lot of calls, but they weren't game altering. I'll tell you that. And the last game of the week, we do have the 49ers and the Vikings. I did get this game wrong. Probably most of the country did as well. Vikings came in, just kind of stole this win. Brock Purdy had a concussion. He didn't have a great game. Kirk Cousins, he had a pretty decent game. McCaffrey, obviously, he's going to get his touchdown. He did fumble it, though. George Kittle had an okay game. Jordan Addison was the main MVP, though, in this game. Came out of nowhere. Jordan Addison is the only reason why the Vikings won this game. He just came in out of nowhere and just stole this win from the 49ers. They could not cover this kid. Just straight up demolishing everybody. Really cool to see, especially against a super team like the 49ers. As you can see here, Minnesota dominated in the possession time. They were just hitting them, bleeding that clock. And very, very big win for the Vikings. Huge disappointment for the 49ers. Brock Purdy obviously is not. You gotta be something. You gotta be consistent, and you can't lose a game like this. Teams that were on bye for this week, I'm gonna mention it again. We had the Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, Jets, and the Titans. None of those teams played. All of them had their bye week. So this week, we have a lot of really tough games to choose from. Lots of tough games. A lot of 50-50 games, and we're going to see how they're going to turn out. Thursday, though, I do have the Bills beating the Bucks. I feel like the Bills are just going to be able to win this game. I don't really see a reason why the Buccaneers, should win this game. But, yeah, got the Bills on that. Sunday, there's no London games. There's no Germany games. This is a straight up 12 o'clocks. Here come the 50-50s, man. The Jaguars and the Steelers. I'm picking the Jaguars. I feel like they can do... I feel like they would be able to win this. This game, like I said, there's nothing but 50-50 games this week. We have the Jets and the Giants. I do have the Jets winning. I feel like they're going to have a decent game. This could easily be This could very easily be a blowout for the Giants, though. So, who knows? So next we have the Texans and the Panthers. I do have the Texans winning. Both of these teams are coming off of byes. This is a 50-50 game. Panthers can easily win this. Texans can easily win this. But I think I'm going to have to go. Dang. I think I'm going to have to go with the Panthers on this one. But it's such a 50-50, man. Such a 50-50. Next, we have the Patriots and the Dolphins. I'm picking the Dolphins, man. Like I said, Belichick can't beat the Dolphins. I hope he doesn't beat them this time. But I do have the Dolphins winning against the Patriots. I just feel like they're not going to... Once the Dolphins put up points, Patriots aren't going to be able to catch up. Next, we have the Falcons and the Titans. I do have... I think the Falcons are going to win this game. Barely. Another 50-50 game. I mean, it's the Titans could easily win. I just don't think the Titans are going to be able to win with Will Levis or Malik Willis, I don't know if y'all can hear this. Got crazy neighbors, obviously. Sorry for that weird yelling. Got the Vikings and the Packers. I think I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. We got the Rams and the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys winning this. I think they can win this. I just feel like they have a little bit more power coming into this. Plus, they're coming off a bye week. I think the Cowboys can win this. Eagles and Commanders. I got the Eagles on that one. That should be a very easy one. Next, we have the Saints and the Colts. This is a 50-50 game, but I do have the Saints winning. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to pick the Colts, to be honest. I hate my neighbors, man. I really do. I think I'm going to pick the Colts on this. Next, we got the 3 o'clock games. We got the Browns and the Seahawks. I don't know what to pick here. It's another 50-50 game. I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy on these 50-50s. I think I'm going to have to pick the Seahawks. Next, we have the Chiefs and the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are going to be able to win this. Best believe, I hope they do. I don't think they're going to win it, though. Bengals and the 49ers. This is a big 50-50. Actually, I think the Bengals are going to win this game. Sam Darnold's going to be playing over Brock Purdy. He's not going to be playing this game due to his concussion. I think the Bengals are going to win this. Would I be surprised if the 49ers win, though? No. Anytime a new quarterback kind of comes in, they're either going to do incredibly well or really bad. So there's a lot of 50-50 things that are happening in this game. I just feel like the Bengals may be able to win this and kind of steal this win. Next, we have the Ravens and the Cardinals. I'm picking the Ravens. After what I've seen from Lamar, I feel like against a pretty decent defense, against the Cardinals defense, I feel like he should put up even better numbers. Next, we have Sunday night, the Bears and the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers. Would I be surprised if the Bears won? I think I would. I think I would be a little surprised. Raiders and the Lions. I'm picking the Lions. I don't think that Jimmy G is going to play again. But, yeah. My picks are really not where I want them to be. My picks are actually my percentage is very bad, to be honest. Right now, I'm 60 games out of 106 games that have happened so far, I've gotten 60 correct, predicted. That's 55%. That's so low. That should be a lot higher. But like I said, this year there's a lot of close games. There's a lot of 50-50s, a lot of upsets. I feel like a lot of people's percentage is a lot lower than what it was last year just because of a lot of random things that are happening this season. But we'll see how good I do, next week. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these shorter videos. I'm kind of doing them fast, just to kind of, I feel like an hour was a little bit too long, especially when there's not really a lot to go over each game. But like I said, this is kind of a breakdown, just kind of going over the main ones. Obviously, you have the top 6 games here, but yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully your team won this week. Hopefully your team wins again next week, unless you're a Chiefs fan. But yeah. No team is on bye this week, by the way. No team is on bye. So we got full 16 games. A lot of good sporting events this weekend, so tune in. The NBA starting up. Great games this week. Tyson Fury fights on Saturday. Keep your eyes open. There's a lot of things happening this week, so keep your TV on. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you next Wednesday, and yeah, appreciate you guys watching.